Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Neum. We're going to talk about Marvel Comics. And are we headed for the Marvel Comics apocalypse? I don't know. I have no idea. But Jeph Loeb has reportedly stepped down after Kevin Feige got promoted to the head of all things Marvel. That includes being the boss of Joe Quesada. So how long until Joe Quesada moves on to greener or bluer DC pastures? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that the Kevin Feige move, the Kevin Feige placement, being placed at the head of Marvel Comics, Marvel Entertainment, everything Marvel, is actually going to go the way that fans are hoping. I really don't think it's going to go well. I think it's actually, this is the beginning of the end, in my personal opinion. Just knowing how little Marvel Comics means to Disney. Comics, not movies. I have to be very clear on that. So before we get into the video, please subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Apparently YouTube is going to be doing some sort of audit this week of sub counts on YouTube channels. I got a notification on our dashboard that usually doesn't bode well for smaller channels. Now, last time they did this, it wasn't bad. We lost a couple hundred subs. But they're going through and they're picking out subs, unsubscribing subs that they think are not legit. As far as I know, all of our subs are legit, but if you get unsubscribed for whatever reason, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. Okay, so this is coming from Screen Rant. We're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about Marvel's numbers again for the month for Marvel Comics. Marvel TV head Jeph Loeb reportedly leaving after Kevin Feige promotion. Marvel Television head Jeph Loeb is reportedly leaving the company in the wake of Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige taking control of Marvel TV and Comics. When Marvel Entertainment was originally acquired by Disney in 2009, has it been that long? All divisions, film, TV, and comics, were under Ike Perlmutter, but in 2015, Marvel Studios split off and studio chief Feige started answering directly to the Walt Disney Studios under Alan Horn and Alan Bergman, while the TV arm stayed under Perlmutter's purview. That explains a lot of the disconnect, to be honest. A lot of the disconnect between shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Daredevil and the MCU. And I think they're trying to remedy that, because the Disney Plus shows obviously will take place in the MCU proper, but these other shows were sort of like, you know, the step kids. They were kind of maybe possibly related to the MCU, but it was never confirmed. The internal politics of the company played out on screen in the form of the Marvel Cinematic Universe expanding to television under the guidance of Loeb, but with Feige's film side only once referencing the TV shows. So in the last year or so, Marvel's TV live-action slate has diminished quite a bit, with Netflix canceling all 6 of its MCU shows. The ABC series Inhumans, which was garbage, and Agent Carter were already canceled, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ended. The only remaining live-action Marvel TV shows are Runaways and Cloak and Dagger, but their futures are currently unknown. I'm going to say probably canceled. Probably canceled soon, if I were to guess. With Marvel Studios branching out into television production, with a whole slate of Marvel TV series set to air on Disney Plus in the coming years, it seems Feige's Marvel Studios TV shows would replace Loeb's live-action offerings. Now it appears Loeb is on his way out entirely. Yeah, and this is kind of sucks. I mean, this kind of sucks. We were hoping for more Daredevil, hoping for more Defenders. It does look like they're trying to unify everything under Feige in the MCU proper, which makes sense. But, a lot of fans thought that things were connected anyway, and it turns out that they never really were. So it is kind of garbage. So in a new Variety report on what Feige's promotion to control Marvel TV and Comics in addition to Marvel Studios means for Perlmutter's reign at Marvel, the trade includes a brief mention that Loeb is leaving Marvel Television. According to Variety sources, Loeb will depart as the head of Marvel TV in the coming weeks and is looking for an overall TV deal at a new company. Could he wind up at Amazon, or could he wind up at Netflix or someplace like that? Loeb joined Marvel in 2010 and grew the entertainment branch into what it is today. Yeah, he was huge. He was a huge part of growing the Marvel brand. Of course, he was behind the very much beloved, for the most part, well, at least Daredevil, Netflix shows, and he's just out the door. He's out the door now. The news of Loeb's departure comes on the heels of not only Feige's promotion to Chief Creative Officer of everything Marvel, but of the report that Marvel TV as fans knew it, is done. It's done. So all those years you invested in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all those Netflix shows, doesn't matter. It's done. It's over. Game over. That report came before news of Feige's new role overseeing all of Marvel film, TV, and comics, and stated Marvel Television would only retain control over the animated programs. You know, the cartoons on Disney XD that nobody watches. That was seemingly in line with what was being reported in terms of Marvel TV's upcoming offerings, which includes a slate of animated TV shows like Howard the Duck. So, yeah, so now they're talking about, they canceled the live-action Ghost Rider series, and yada, yada, yada. So this is kind of a mess. I understand why they're doing it, but it's kind of a mess. It looks to me like Disney is paring down Marvel. They're going to streamline Marvel. That means all of Marvel. And I do believe, and I've been saying it for years, that Marvel Comics is not completely safe. It's very, very possible, I still firmly believe this, that Marvel Comics could be, the Marvel superheroes could be outsourced to another comic book publisher, that Marvel might stop publishing comics themselves. It might be years away, but putting Kevin Feige in like this is not a good move for comic book fans. Because once again, we're seeing that Hollywood is controlling the comic book industry, and when Hollywood gets bored, doesn't feel like paying for the comic book industry to exist anymore, then it simply won't. It simply won't, because, you know, Disney is looking to cut corners now. They're focused 110% on Disney Plus. They just had another box office bomb this weekend. Maleficent did not do well. They're not doing that well with the parks the last couple quarters. You know, so they're going to start to look to trim things. And Marvel Comics, you know, what are they bringing to the table? You know, are any of the newer storylines going to be something they can make movies out of? Because it seems like they're going back, you know, 10 years, or they're just creating stuff wholesale. At this point, they're just making it up completely from scratch. So, and the general public doesn't know any better, you know, and comics just don't have the margins on them that Disney likes to see. Disney wants big margins. They have pulled the plug on companies that were profitable. They just weren't profitable enough, you know. So again, this is just the way Disney does business, and all the streamlining, I think we're getting close to that eventuality. I think it basically it is going to only be a few more years until Disney's like, yeah, we're done. We're tired of this. So I'm gonna bring up again the monthly diamond numbers, the comic book sales to comic shops. Again, this is sales to comic shops, not to consumers, but to comic shops. And I did a video over the weekend about how Spawn 300 trounced Spider-Man number 1. Spider-Man number 1, written by J.J. Abrams and his son, was supposed to be a million selling comic book. Spawn 300 wound up somehow beating Spider-Man number 1. There was a lot of buzz initially for Spider-Man 1, a lot of backlash too. Spawn 300 kind of came out of nowhere. It really did. And, you know, it just completely trounced Spider-Man. I mean, this is nice to see the top 10 being almost all 100,000 copies plus. Spawn sitting at number 1, Spawn 300. A lot of people forgot Spawn was still being published. Spawn 300 at $7.99 sold 262,000 copies. Spider-Man is over 100,000 below that. Spider-Man number 1, written by J.J. Abrams, Hollywood guy, 156,000. Then we've got, of course, the X books. God, it's starting to look like the 90s all over again. We got the X books, and they're, you know, over 100,000. They're being very well received, but they're going to drop off. You know they're going to drop off. All these books drop off. I mean, look, Batman's dropped off. It's down to 80,000 now. And, you know, Disney's got to be looking at this. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we beating our heads against the wall, trying to save the direct market? And it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Either Disney or Warner Media. Again, Warner Media looking to save money. They're going to pull the plug. Either Marvel or DC is going to disappear someday. And I think it's going to be very, very soon. And you can thank Hollywood for that. I know a lot of people have different opinions on the hows and the whys of the direct market, imploding, shrinking, why comic shops are going out of business. And there are numerous reasons There are. I mean, it's the content of the books. Obviously, it's the price of the books. It's the fact that just a lot of people have left the industry. They don't collect comics anymore. They don't read comics anymore. They've moved on to other things. Kids today aren't reading comic books. They're reading manga. So they're not replacing the readers that they've lost. And it's the perfect storm. But Disney doesn't need to publish comic books anymore. They really don't. And it's sad. It's very, very sad. And I'm not being like, yeah, I hope it ends. Not at all. I'm actually mortified that we are living in a time when the comic book industry could just stop. It could just stop. Graphic novels go on. Manga will go on. I think independent comics will go on. But the comic book industry as we know it with Marvel and DC and the direct market and the comic book shops could end very, very soon, and all it's going to take is for Disney or Warner Media to get tired of it, and either one of them or both of them could decide that this is it. I mean, here we go again. We're doing another event, Iron Man 2020, more issue number ones, and God, I hate that Iron Man suit. That looks so hokey with the gears, with the shoulder pads. But here we go again, a whole bunch of number ones to ring in the new year. And I think this is Marvel trying to justify its existence. And I don't think it can. I don't think it can anymore. Marvel Studios does not need comic books. And I have to wonder if Kevin Feige isn't being put in to be able to report directly back to Disney exactly what kinds of numbers, what kind of money Marvel Comics is actually making, so Disney can make a decision. I really have to wonder that. But Jeph Loeb, jumping ship, smart man. I think he's a very smart man, but it's not really good for fans of Marvel, I don't think. But maybe he'll wind up at Amazon. We'll see. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll hopefully have more videos throughout the day. Keep an eye on things, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thinking about printing your own comic books, graphic novel, or manga? We recommend our friends over at Print Ninja. We've been using Print Ninja as long as they've been printing comics, and both the quality and price is excellent. Mention Clownfish TV and get an additional 5% overrun of your book order quantity printed for free. For free! That's free books, people. Just mention this offer on the phone or in the additional information box on the quote request form. That's printninja.com, or click on the link in the description below. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.